The problem that I chose to research is waste disposal and how it has become a super wicked problem, and the rhetoric that surrounds this super wicked problem. Waste disposal has become a super wicked problem because of the exponential population growth of humans and our vast amount of resource use. Now, many scientists' data agrees that the human population has surpassed the Earth's carrying capacity, and that the Earth's resources are no longer able to renew themselves at the pace of the human population's use of these resources. With all of these resource use brings to question, what do we do with our waste once these resources have fulfilled their purpose? Well, for the majority of history, there has been two solutions to this problem: burying our waste in landfills or burning our waste in incinerators. While these two methods are still the two most common types of waste disposal, innovations have begun to change the way that we think about and dispose of our waste. Innovations such as waste-to-energy systems have emerged in the recent years for both landfills and incinerators. These systems create energy by collecting and funneling the byproducts or greenhouse gases of waste into a turbine, which is used to create energy. Which sounds great, right? In a perfect world, yes. However, we live in a world far from perfect, so there are many issues surrounding these green innovations into the waste disposal industry, and many people market these systems by using cleverly crafted rhetoric for monetary gains. First, let's examine the word renewable energy and see what types of frame this creates in the human mind. When people see or hear the word renewable, a rhetorical frame is created in their minds that thinks of words such as sustainable, future, growth, and green. When this is used in association with waste disposal, it leads the audience into a false statement that waste can be good. Now, an example of this rhetoric being used can be seen by one of the largest waste service providers in the U.S., Waste Management, on their website under Sustainability. It says, renewable energy, think green. When most people think of renewable energy, they think of wind, solar, and hydroelectric. However, there is another source of energy that is created every day across the globe: trash. It goes on to talk about what they are doing to create waste to energy. Then it gets into data. We produce over 550 megawatts of electricity, which is enough to power more than 440,000 homes. The rhetorical use of words such as green and the feel-good nature of the text creates that frame of mind again that trash is good. This same use of language happens numerously throughout the discussion and debates of these innovative waste-to-energy systems. And this rhetoric is very effective at making people believe that waste is not a bad thing. An example of the unintended consequences that can arise from the use of this language, of telling people that waste is a renewable energy source, we can look to Denmark. Now, Denmark has built a large waste disposal infrastructure of incinerators, some that even double as ski slopes, that are capable of creating energy from the steam and greenhouse gases released from the burning of its waste. Through Denmark's massive overhaul of its waste infrastructure and touting its achievement as renewable energy, their recycling diversion rates have gone down and their waste tonnages have increased to one of the largest in the EU per capita. Denmark currently burns around 80% of their waste, and only recycles around 20% of that waste. The rhetorical uses of waste to energy are the cause of this massive drop in recycling rates, and the use of feel-good language has led to the opposite or unintended consequence for the Danish people. While they thought that incineration would benefit the country, it has largely done the opposite by contributing to greenhouse gases, resource loss, air pollution, and water pollution, and economic downfalls in the recycling and manufacturing sectors. Denmark is now starting to realize its mistake and beginning to recover and reimagine its view on waste by committing to a zero waste policy. Organizations which lobbied for the decommission of incineration in Denmark and other parts of the world primarily focused on using a policy stasis, combined with basic research in order to achieve its goal and convince voters that it was their best interest. By using basic research, it helped to convey the message that incineration is bad, and by using or saying things such as incineration pollutes more than coal-fired power plants, created a perspective for people to compare just how really bad incineration can be. Now, we have seen examples of the use of rhetoric in this super wicked problem, we can begin to see the complex issue that surrounds waste disposal. There is no perfect solution to this wicked problem, but by using the tools of rhetorical analysis, we can begin to see that each side is trying to convince the ones in power to get behind the waste-to-energy systems by using credible arguments and basic research. In feel-good language, many countries have been duped into the idea that waste-to-energy is a sustainable solution to our basic economic needs, when in fact it only makes the problem worse than it was initially. By refining the way we see waste for what it really is, resource loss, land loss to house these expansive landfills and incinerators, and stop treating waste like it can be the solution to our problems, we can truly begin to utilize all of these materials and take responsibility for our man-made problem of waste and neglect for resource loss.